With us, Jim Glassman of JPMorgan. Jim, you love the employment to population chart. It was flat 58.5%. I mean, within the good news of 30 days ago, we really haven't seen a turnaround in some of these key ratios, have we?
Yeah, that story is a reminder how devastating this whole recession has been. We've lost a lot of ground. We're hopeful that things are beginning to bottom, but it's telling you, it's a reminder of how much lost ground is going to be made back.
I want to get this chart here. Matthew, the camera guy, get over here and show me. And I want to show you this chart here. And folks, for radio, here's a chart going back 35 years of the employment to population. And you see here, I'm going to move my mic so Matthew, the camera guy, can get in close. You see here the boom. This is women coming into the workforce, and then it's great at 64%. And Jim Glassman saying we're just off a cliff and down it's come. Is this something the president has to work on to jumpstart, or is it just the economy heals?
Well, this is why they're very focused. And I think, honestly, they have done an awful lot. Washington itself had a big fiscal stimulus package. The Fed has done an awful lot, cutting rates and buying assets. So, in a sense, they set in motion the amazing recovery in the financial markets that you saw last year. It's going to take time, though, for that to ripple through into the economy and get things turned around.
Well, Jim, is it too soon to look at 10% unemployment in December, 10% in November, and 10.2 in October, and say that October was the peak and that's the worst we're going to see?
I hope we can say that. The problem is I've learned from my own mistakes in the past that you usually need about
mistakes?
many in this business. You need really 6 months to know whether the unemployment rate is really doing something. And I think we're all hopeful, and we have been expecting that unemployment would top out at 10%. And with the economy growing like it is, it should start to work its way down.
Okay, now if we do see it go up in the months to come, that'll be a sign that people who had given up looking for work are now looking for work, and therefore they're back in the statistics.
We'll know if that's happening, and if that is what happens, we won't worry so much about unemployment. If it starts going up because all these discouraged people start coming back in, fine. That'll tell you that the people sense there's an opportunity and they're actually willing to come back in. So it'll be counterintuitive, but you wouldn't worry about it if you see the labor force coming back up.
Jim, when you look beneath the data, let's go to this angst. Ken and I will be interviewing the governor of Michigan next week on our trip to Detroit. And you look at the underemployment rate ticking up again. That's a disappointment, yes. Well, how does the president spin this jobs report? Does he look at the structural issues, or does he take a positive spin and try to get the optimism that you and Bruce Kasman have?
Well, you could be optimistic in the sense that we had an impulsive collapse last year, a winter ago, and the fact that we have leveled out and can actually say or believe that we're in the process of bottoming is a pretty impressive statement. That's the optimistic side. But I think you don't want to. I don't think you want to be too cheery because if you're the president, because there's an awful lot of pain that's out there, and it's going to take a lot of growth to get this thing turned around. And growth. Most people, their perception about what's going on and what they care about is not are we growing, but how much unemployment is there.
You and I talked earlier with Ken about the idea of negative government statistics here. Again, that's at state and local angst, isn't it?
Yeah, they're under a lot of belt tightening in the state and local community, as we know, and that may be what's showing up here.
Is the real estate recession making things worse this time? I mean, in the sense that at times past, if you really needed a job, you could just move, but now you can't because you can't sell your house.
It probably is. I mean, in the real estate recession might have been the real catalyst to the whole thing because it created all these other financial excesses that caused the panic. So in a sense, yeah, it's not the cushion there. However, the building business is now supporting growth. In the third quarter, the building business, because there's such a low level of activity, is beginning to come back. So there are a few jobs there, but not much. And you can see that from the construction jobs, still losing a lot of jobs in construction.